I want to talk about a brand new film out on streaming as well, Grand Theft Hamlet. It's a documentary about the staging of a production of Hamlet on Grand Theft Auto Online. It features English British actors Sam Crane and Mark Osterveen. And it presents this sort of like incredibly British corner of an incredibly global game. It picks up at the beginning of COVID. It's clear Sam and Mark, they're out of work actors at the time, are just pottering around GTA Online, and they stumble upon something that's clearly meant to be a rip off of the Hollywood Bowl. It's in Vinewood. It's sort of an outdoor venue. And I think around that time, Mark sort of is like talking about Hamlet, and they're like, "Hey, what if we put on Hamlet on this stage here?" So they rope in Sammy's partner Penny, who is the co-director with Sam, and it's sort of really the entertainment value sort of ramps up around this point because she has like a charming inexperience with the game that leads to some quite poignant conversations at times. They hold auditions at this where they found this theatre, and I think the first person who attends is DJ Phil. You can see that username over the top of their characters. They come barreling over this hill, beat up an NPC for just absolutely no reason, reach our two guys, Sam and Mark, and it's like, hey! And it's like this really charming woman turns out she's a literary agent who's using her nephew's account. And she's charming, but subject to random acts of violence. She'll just be like, just in the middle of a conversation, but she's not a troll. I don't know. It's strange, but they sort of lose touch with her. Other key characters in it is Nora, who is like clearly, you know, I mean, when they first show up, they are clearly it's an Irish man speaking in a feminine voice and who's chose a glamorous woman as their character. There's a really sweet moment where she talks about something that she does later on in the documentary, but I won't ruin that. Even though I sort of just did. There's another character, Parteb. He's got another bit more. I can't remember it fully, but it's Parteb. They start calling him Parteb. He recites the Quran for his audition, and he doesn't end up getting a role, but he does sort of become like a bodyguard for the production. He seems to get more invested in it than some of the other actors. He appears as just a completely naked alien when he pops back up later and he's like, hey, I think you remember my backside. Then there's another character, Lizzie, who really brings a performance element to her character. She starts using the gestures and the emotes that you can do with the characters to turn just the reciting of the play into an actual performance. Now, it is more a documentary about the making of the production rather than the whole Shakespeare production, but you do get to see some scenes, and what you do see, it looks like it was an absolute triumph. I mean, it ends like a lot of Shakespeare and a lot of GTA, to be fair, in an order of violence. It's this beautiful marrying of this, yeah, modern art with a very, like 500, 400-year old art as well. um Staging the production, it brings on some like really touching conversations between Sam and Mark. I mean, they are, I guess at the time, struggling actors because there is no acting work unless you are like making a big TV show or a huge movie. There's very little for these less well known people. And one of the things that this highlights is just how futile it is for us to try and exert any semblance of control on life. I mean, it's obviously going to be difficult in a game where there is essentially no rules. I mean, obviously the police can capture you, but you just start again. I think you just pay a bit of money and you just respawn somewhere. which is obviously nothing we can do in real life, but it does highlight how there's no point just trying to bring control to anything. There's a great moment towards the end where obviously in the bottom left you just get random updates about the game. As far as I'm aware, I've never played GTA Hamlet. And I should say the entire documentary plays out in GTA Online. It's a piece of what's known as machinima, which is a new term to me as well. It's like cinema made by the already created computer graphics in a game. But you're getting these random updates in the bottom left, like Blorf has killed Zubazlu or whatever, and at the end of the play, because they need to end it somehow, Sam, kills his character, and it just comes up. Hamlet takes the easy way out, and it's just a really sort of beautiful ending to the film. And I really hope people check this out, maybe based on this video. But another thing is you can catch Sam Crane now as Harry Potter in The Cursed Child. It's a role he's been doing since 2002. That's not true. It's a role he's been doing since 2022. So for 3 years now. And when you've seen this documentary, you can't help but be pleased for him. So yeah, that's Grand Theft Hamlet. Check it out online.